Good evening and welcome to Notre Dame. Tonight's matchup is an IHSA game between the Northside Mustangs and your Notre Dame Dons. First, let's meet the visiting Mustangs. The captain, number 11, Jose Hinojosa. Number 1, Kieran Cuddy. Number 16, Declan Rogers. Number 7, Mike Mullen. Number 13, Emilio Razzo. Number 4, Daniel Wang. Number 17, Nazar Komiak. Number 3, Christopher Barija. Number 5, Esteban Gonzalez. Number 8, Yomel Mendez. And number 28, Arthur Zakrzewski. Northside is coached by James Krinikos. And now the starting lineup for your 2021 East Suburban Catholic Conference champions, your Notre Dame Dons. First, the captains. Number 1, Zach Martin. Number 5, Martin Krug. And number 16, Michael Shanahan. Number 0, Kier Swanson. Number 3, Ryan Shanahan. Number 7, Trevor Johnson. Number 9, Francesco Di Filippo. Number 10, Cesar Lopez. Number 13, Michael Zimba. Number 14, Freddie Krug. And number 29, Aiden Kamala. Notre Dame is coached by Mike Smith, assisted by Tom Crowley, Mike Pearson, Kurt Haas, and Carl Damlos. At this time, we ask you to please rise and kindly remove your caps and face the flag in the southwest corner of the field as we honor our nation with our national anthem.
Well, as Caden was preluding, this should not be the last game. Dons are guaranteed at least one more, and we welcome you to the Bergen Farley podcast, presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Oh boy,
that's a total joke. It's the Dons, it's the Mustangs, it's the final regular season game of the year. And look at that, Ryan Shanahan's already playing bowling balls. He's down on the ground. Well, it's a little bit of a different look tonight for the Dons. A lot of shake-up with the starting lineup.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach before the game. He said he's going to take some of the powerhouse players out, give them the rest they need for the playoffs.
Agreed. So, most notably, Marty Krug is getting a captain start tonight, which is – oh, did we just lose our connection? Hello? Oh, there we go. We lost the connection. As I was saying, Marty Krug getting his first captain start tonight.
Yeah, I think he deserves it with how he's been playing this year.
And then we also see Frank DiFilippo getting a start. Aiden Kamara back in the starting lineup tonight. Cesar Lopez. I'm gonna try not to say Cesar anymore. But we'll see how that goes. Cesar Lopez getting a start. And Kier Swanson is in the goal to start the game.
I'm excited to see that the most because he's proved himself the times he has gone in so far. So I want to see what he can do with, the starting position now for this game.
And then for the Mustangs, it's an interesting situation to where these two teams are at. They are in the same regional for playoffs. The Dons with the number 1 seed, the Mustangs with the number 8 seed. So there is a good chance that these two teams are going to face each other next week.
Mm-hmm.
The regional that these two teams are playing in is the Elmwood Park Regional, which is part of the Spear Sectional. Both teams, I believe, are playing Saturday, I want to say. It's either Friday or Saturday. I can't remember which day. It's sometime soon. We'll figure it out at some point. We do know that the regional game is going to be the 22nd, I think. Now I'm not sure. Oh, man, I got to stop doubting myself. Well, welcome back to the podcast. We already got off topic and wanted to take 3 minutes. I don't even know if I'd call it off topic. Okay, so the 19th, which is next Tuesday, these two teams – the Dons in either CICS or Foreman – or CICS Northtown, where Foreman will be playing the Dons on the 19th. Northside will play Elmwood Park on the 20th. And then on the 22nd, which is next Friday, they might meet, which is a 5:30 game at Elmwood Park. They will probably be done by the time the varsity game starts. Varsity football starts that night. It'll be varsity football with St. Rita. And we're back to our promos. We got a doubleheader that day. Caden's going to be back on with JV. He's looking forward to that. He's looking forward to that.
Very excited about that.
Doubleheader coming up on the 22nd. Back with sophomores. Looking forward to it. And then varsity right after. So we'll be following along with the game as best we can. Maybe Elmwood Park is going to stream it online, so maybe we could do a picture-in-picture of what's going on. That'd be cool. Honestly, that'd be awesome.
Get like a separate screen. Show that game.
That'd be cool.
I feel like we could pull that off too.
Honestly, I think we could pull that off too. That's just something we would have to
experiment
big time
with,
figure out beforehand.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Elmwood Park has a YouTube channel. I've never figured that out.
Like any sort of media crew or anything?
Well, I know they don't have that. I'm going to search up Elmwood Park Athletics. Nope, doesn't look like it.
Got some old videos from
Yeah, some real
the
old
80s,
videos.
it looks like.
And then I told the story last week of that 10-year-old video I found about ND on there. That was cool.
That's awesome.
That video I found. It was a cool.
Do you rewatch it now that you know about it?
No, I know everything that's on there. Why would I have to continue to The only time I would go on there to rewatch is make fun of Mr. Galeno's hair. We've been through this. And look at that. Off topic already. New record.
Mr. Galeno's hair.
Yep.
That first topic.
That is the topic of discussion tonight. It is Michael Galeno's hair. He's probably not watching. I know who is watching. Joe Augustinsky.
So I have a question for you, considering how the Dons have done so far with the record and everything. Do you think they have the highest percentage of winning state for this year?
Well,
or like what other teams do you
think
come close to them in winning
state?
state?
I think that in this sectional, at least, I did not look at all the teams that are in 2A. In this sectional, at least, I think that they have a pretty easy go. This is no shots at other teams. They have shown that they've been able to knock out these teams with losing records, such as Northside. That I think that they have proven. When they start facing like Spear or Fenton or Fenwick, considering they have already played one of them this year in Fenwick and tied them, so they have experience against them, I think it's going to make for a very interesting end of the sectional. And in my opinion, I think they're going to give them a run for the money.
Yeah.
This Don's team, in terms of record, they are the best team in school history when it comes to record. That is, you can't argue with that. Yeah. But I think when you compare it overall to other teams in the area now, like when you look at all these rankings, it's mostly 3A teams that are in those rankings. Teddy Bahu, Underdog Sports. That's how you probably better know him. He does soccer rankings a lot, and he usually does not include ND. He did once, and I think they were 15 or something like that. Hasn't put him in since, which is fine. But I look at who's on there, and I see Evanston, Friends, Loyola, Warren. A lot of those teams are on there, and those are all 3A teams. Those are all big-time public school teams. And I think of an Evanston. Do we got something coming here? Oh, hello. Martin just missing.
Wow.
Took a skid off the wheels and crashes in the ditch. As Frank DiFilippo ties his shoe. But anyway, I think of Evanston and they're taking in the entire city of Evanston into their school. Think about how much talent they have. And I was here last week for the GBS game. And in!
Oh my goodness. He just flew.
What? Wow. As Frank DiFilippo continues to tie his shoe, he misses on the action. The Dons take a 1-0 lead. Okay. Well,
see, this is why you got to stop getting off topic, because then we miss goals. Well, I mean, this isn't off topic.
We didn't miss it. We didn't miss it. I was telling a story. But how about that? Wow. Shanahan and Kimura showing up. But anyway, like I was saying, I was here last week for the GBS game. I think I stayed around for midway through the first half, and then I had to go home. But I was talking to some of the parents here, and they're like, GBS is 4 teams. They have a freshman, a sophomore, JV, and a varsity. And they have about 80 kids try out for each team.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's insane. And Martin is it going to hit the board? Oh, it's not even going to come close. My depth perception is horrible. That's 250 kids in your entire program that are trying to try out for maybe 100 spots. There's a high cut rate there.
There's got to be at least a few that
and
are just.
think of things here. We only have 3 cut sports. I know basketball, baseball, and I think golf are the only cut sports here.
I can.
So if you want to play, you can play. But you go, hey, look at that! Oh my, Michael Zima.
2-0 lead already.
about that? Took a ricochet and high goal. Well, not to go off topic of my story, I'll continue in a second, but I have a feeling this is going to be a long night for the Mustangs by the way things have started. 9 minutes in, this is mostly the Dons like B squad for the most part, and they've already put up 2. I have a feeling this is going to be a long evening.
Imagine the starting lineup.
Oh boy. But anyway, to continue, they have a lot of kids that come in. You think about here, like there's kids. Like, I'm not trying to take shots on anyone, but there's kids here that like they go to a tryout and they're on the team. Like, you might not have any experience at all. Like, I'll just use myself for an example. I did bowling my freshman year. No, I'm serious.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I did bowling my freshman year because at the time I was really into it. Like, I had fun with it. It was,
bowling phase.
Yeah. I mean, I have no shame in that. Like, I had fun doing it, so, like, let's do it competitively. So I did. And I realized really, really quickly, like, this isn't for me.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
I had, just missing from Ryan Shanahan there. I had no competitive experience. I had never played in a league. Never done anything like that. I get in, I'm on JV my freshman year, and I'm not a starter, obviously, because we actually had some pretty decent JV bowlers. Jake Ramirez was on JV that year. Danny Gutierrez, I think Ryan Haradovich was on JV that year. He played a little bit. He played some varsity too. But my point is that like I had no experience and I was on JV from day one. You go to like some of these, like a Lane Tech or a New Trier, all these kids trying out. There's cuts for everything. If you're not good at something, you're not gonna make it.
It's actually selective and
exactly. So I think there's a huge difference there's a huge difference when it comes to public and private schools, because particularly like for a school that doesn't have that many kids, like I don't know this for a fact. Like I'll take St. Pat's for example. They have a lower enrollment than we do. I believe it's around 500. I don't know that for sure. I'm just assuming. If it is around 500, think about that at that point. Most of their teams are JV varsity. So they're consolidating now. And then you go to some of these bigger schools like New Trier or Evanston. 4 or 5 teams. So that talent is really consolidated, and it's also very rich. So
especially for schools like New Trier who have like different campuses just for different grades.
Right.
You'd assume that it's going to be very selective in who they choose to play their sports.
And here's the other thing. Dons might do pretty good in the playoffs this year. I have a feeling they are, considering who their competition is. They have struggled at times against teams that they should not be struggling against. They've also done well against teams that they should, that should be kept close. Like Sen, for example, pulled away late, or like I think it was like early in the second half we were here for that game. Pulled away late, no, let me rephrase that. They pulled away early in the second half and they never looked back. That's what you want, right? But then you go to like Marian Catholic 2 weeks ago. It was 1-1 at half. So they've been streaky, but also at the same time inconsistent. The results might be there, but when you've watched as many games as we have this year, and again, not trying to make them sound negative or anything like that, but there has to be they have to be more consistent with their play, because from here on out, particularly once they get past regionals, it's not going to be easy with the teams that they're facing. And after the season they've had this year, more than likely they're going to get bumped up to 3A, which means you're going to be facing those teams. You're going to be facing the GBSs, the Evanstons, the New Triers. They've proven this year that they can ransack 2A. Most of the teams they've played are 2A. Now they're going to get moved to 3A. I think these guys can handle it. They've shown that they are able to keep in stride with most of their with most of their competition.
Yeah, clearly.
9-0 in conference.
With all the games, you know,
I'm
the
pretty
scores.
sure. I'm pretty sure Bennett is 3A. I don't know that for a fact. I have a feeling they are. I have a feeling Pats might be just because of their success that they've had. Excuse me, but
I'm trying to think of any other schools that.
But like you think of these larger schools, they're going to be the teams that they are going to be facing next year. They might be able to play these like the Marian Catholics or the DePauls or the schools that don't have like the best programs and build wins and build their win total. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to matter because you're going to be playing those big schools when it comes to playoffs.
And then, the competition is just upped by a lot. And then,
right.
they're not used to that. They're used to.
It's going to be completely different next
year. They're used to some of the easier games, whereas, they'll actually have to.
If they don't get pushed up next year, I would be shocked because of how they've played this year. And, again, I'm not saying that they can't handle it. They have a very talented group. Their seniors are very talented. Their sophomores are very talented. The freshmen are looking very good. They finished conference 5-0-1. I believe I'm like 99% sure they finished with a winning record this year. Varsity, or I'm not varsity. Varsity, obviously varsity. But JV has had its bright spots too. They needed to be a little more consistent, in my opinion. Sion Howe is going to be a great goalkeeper. Kian
Howe.
So I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
I've been trying to tell you, but I keep forgetting. So that's partly my fault. But
Kian Howe is going to be spectacular once he finally gets that bump up. But I'm interested to see next year how they handle it, because Luca is going to be a senior, Kier is going to be a junior with 2 years varsity, and Kian is going to be a junior as well. So there's going to be it's not a bad thing. Stalinchek got himself tripped up.
Holding my breath.
Oh, I was holding my breath too. There's nothing wrong with having the stockpile of goalies that they had. The problem is getting them playing time. And I talked about this a little bit last week. Luca is good enough to go D1, in my opinion.
And he's gotten offers and stuff.
He's been talking with D1 coaches, and now we're going to stop that for a quick second. And we got a penalty kick coming for Mike Shanahan. As we got back on topic, which is not necessarily.
We've been on topic, actually. Talking about the. Yes!
And we stay on topic. Mike Shanahan bearing the free kick, and it's a 3-0 game. Oh, that was worth it.
I was going to say, we've actually stayed on topic, talking about the bigger scheme of things and, the whole conference as a whole. So that I'd say that's pretty good for the first, almost 25 minutes.
Yeah, pretty good. But to continue, there's nothing wrong with having the amount of goalies that they have, but you can only play them. You can only play so many in one game. Like, halves obviously make the most sense. But you're going to have 3 guys next year, and then you're going to have to find time to play Kian and Kier their senior years. So I'm not necessarily saying that having 3 goalies that can start is a bad thing, but the problem is going to be getting them all time. And next year is going to be very challenging.
Yeah, so to add to your point, or did you want to finish? Sorry.
No, you can.
Oh, no, so to add to your point, when I was talking with Coach before the game, he said that this team has, great depth with how many players they have at each position. So I think that's going to carry on throughout, each year that the seniors graduate. There's just going to be someone to step up and take their position.
And this junior class that we have right now, solid too. Danny Dino, undoubtedly the top junior that they have right now. Jack Plovanich has had a coming out party this year. Oh, look at that one. Frank just kicked it off and out of bounds. Plovanich has had a coming out party this year. Aiden Kimura has had a lot of good time. I needed to grab my sheet for a second. It was set down, and I completely forgot about it. But then you look at like some of the depth that you have on there. Jake Schmucker, Danny England, Frank DiFilippo getting the start tonight. You know, there's not a lot of juniors on here. I believe I want to say there's only like, 4, 5, 7 in total. Yeah, 7? Now I got to count. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7 in total. Luca, the starting goaltender. Dino, a starting midfielder. Bovanic, a starting defenseman. But then the depth, too. Kimura, Schmucker, England, DiFilippo. They've all looked good this year. As Andres Abdallah getting in, along with Schmucker, the aforementioned Jake Schmucker. Angel Panori Garcia has also come in. Stalinchek is in too. So yeah, a lot of the reserves today. Ian Martinez, even Ian Martinez too. Like he's not a junior, but the depth is there.
Yeah.
To where even if they take their starters out, they have guys in there that are more than capable.
Yeah,
of
they have someone to step up in each position.
And there's, you think about the roster construction that they've had this year, and you wonder, are they going to have something like this again? And you really don't think that. Next year's bright too.
Yeah.
But the composition that they've had this year might not be something we see again.
Yeah, I mean, just the talented seniors that we have now is, what's holding up the team.
Andres and the 3 captains, Paul, Mike, and Zach. Why am I blanking again? Zimba has been awesome this year. Trevor Johnson has been awesome. It's going to be interesting to see how this team mends next year and how they play together, because there's going to be so much turnover. And then all these rising sophomores going to junior year.
I was just about to say.
They're going to be vying for those spots. There's not a lot of senior leadership. I'm sorry, there will not be a lot of senior leadership. Like I said, there's only 7 varsity guys right now. And I think there's 4 or 5, somewhere in that range, on the JV team of juniors. So the leadership and experience of the seniors next year, so current juniors, rising seniors, not necessarily going to be there. So you're really going to have to lean on these sophomores and juniors that got a lot of time this year to really show that. Here's Schmucker trying for a fast break, able to break off. And now it gets
So, even with what you said, I do feel like the team will still be able to play together well in the upcoming years, because we have so many sophomores that are playing varsity, so they'll have the experience already, and they'll know what it's like to play in, the bigger games and the more what's the word, I'm blanking, sorry.
But the depth of this team is something that you don't often see.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, they don't have the resources of 240 kids, potentially. Obviously, that depends school by school. But the 240 players without your program that are trying to try out, they don't necessarily have that. But the way that their depth has been tested this year and how they've proven themselves through their performance is definitely something that you have to keep a lookout for over the next year or two. It's going to be very interesting to see how this team continues to grow, especially if they do like off-season work. I don't know if they do or not. They probably do.
Yeah.
But off-season like workouts, conditioning with these guys, how they're going to mend together to form next year's team, because they got a lot to live up to. We now have high expectations for these guys, because there's a very real unless things like go drastically south in this game, and who knows, Northside might pull it off, but they might have 19 regular season wins this year, never before seen in school history. Is that we probably are not going to see that again.
Yeah, very rarely do teams come out with, 19 or 20 wins in a season.
You're kind of thinking like Rays and Dodgers of last year in baseball, and even this year too. Tampa going out with 100 wins, San Francisco 105, LA 104. That's not something you see all the time. And obviously this is 2 completely different things.
Yeah.
But the point is still the same. You don't see that very often. And the thing is that, you know, now we have this expectation of them being so good, you're only losing 1 game a year. And at max, they're going to lose 2.
Oh, and here comes a fast break.
And now a fast break for Schmucker. Trying not to get tied up again. Is that going through? Yes, it does! Schmucker to Abdallah. What a sequence.
That's that chemistry we were just talking about.
And now we have a down Mustang. The goaltender is down.
I think he might have got kicked in the hand.
For Northside.
He's holding his right hand.
What'd you need it for?
Got room on your media card?
So, hobbling off the field is Kieran Cuddy.
Looks like some sort of hand injury. He's
Yeah,
holding his wrist or his hand or
So
something in his arm.
We're going to hopefully find out who their new goaltender is. No, is number
0 is what it looks like.
James. Oh, boy. Gellerter. Gellerter. That's what we'll call him. Gellerter. He needs a haircut. Oh, my God. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. All right, now I'm going to pull a Thom Brenneman. I pride myself as a man of faith, and there's a high, deep drive to left field. Castellanos with a home run. That's going to make it a 4-0 ball game. I don't know if I'll put on this headset again. Oh, I love making fun of people.
We'll use goals this time instead of home run.
But, no, it doesn't work in that context.
You just have to take out the 3-run homer or whatever. You just say a goal from insert name.
Sure.
So that's going to make it a
insert name here.
4-0 soccer match.
Oh, now I lost my train of thought. Dang it. I don't know. Maybe I'll find it. Ooh.
I think depth of the team.
Yeah, we were talking. Yeah,
went over that kind of.
The question is how are these guys going to play next year? And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how they play next year because there's going to be so much turnover, which is exactly the same thing we're talking about with basketball. They've got 4 or 5. I think it's somewhere either 4 or 5 transfers. I can think of 4 off the top of my head. I think there's a 5th. I can't think of who he is. At least 4 basketball transfers, which is a huge amount. You can kind of say 5 because one guy that transferred here last year was not able to play. So to an extent, you can say 5. All the guys moving up from sophomore to varsity. So now current juniors. And then all the guys that were on varsity last year. So Sonny Williams, Mac Ross, and the seniors. Like Jake Georgioulis, Jace Fletcher. Why am I blanking on who the other guys were? Ray Farragher was another one. James Lloyd was another guy. But that's the turnover that we're talking about, and I'm very interested to see how they play this year because of all that switching around that they've done. So we'll see how that goes.
Do we do game days for basketball? I've never.
We're planning on it.
All right, that's awesome.
Still waiting on the schedule to be finalized. Oh, almost.
Yeah, I want to hope I can do more for basketball.
We kind of have a schedule. So while we have it in our heads, I'm going to get it up right now. As of right now, they've only secured home games for conference, and the conference games are actually relatively early this year, which is interesting. If it'll want to load because my cell service is awful, which that is not a surprise.
Another fast break.
Oi! Jake Schmucker puts in his first on his own. You could say his second to an extent. He's having a good night. It's 5-0.
I gotta stop hitting this wall. I keep hitting the microphone on the wall.
I'm going to move this table over.
Wow. 5-0.
How about that? All right. Well, now that we're talking basketball now, because who cares about this thing that's going on. So currently the Dons only have 5 scheduled home games for varsity. That's as of right now. That's probably going to change because not everything is set in stone yet.
Yeah. Still got, like, what, 2 months?
Yeah.
2.5?
The first practice, I think, is November 1st.
So
yeah,
about
here's
half a
what we
month
got
away.
right now. The first scheduled home game is December 3rd against Nazareth. 2 weeks later, December 17th, is Pats. And then during Christmas break, the Christmas tournaments here for underclassmen, freshmen, sophomores. Varsity is going to be playing in the Wheeling Invite. There is plans in place for us to be around for the Christmas tournament here, so that'll be fun. Carmel on January 7th, St. Viator on January 21st, and Marion Catholic on January 28th. So a lot of the big conference games are here this year, particularly Pats, Viator, Marion. Those are the big 3.
Mm-hmm.
Last year they were all on the road. Dons picked up 2 wins there. They lost to Viator. In a really close one in a game that everyone on that team will tell you that they should have won. I'm serious. I was watching that game.
Which game, sorry? I misheard you.
When they played Viator last year for basketball. I was watching that game, and I'm like, they definitely should have won that game. Which is unfortunate because we all knew that they should have won, and they didn't. But anyway. So, yeah, there's probably going to be a game day in there somewhere.
Awesome.
The last time we had a normal basketball season, we only did 1 game day, and it was for the last regular season home game of the year against Curie. We didn't have any scheduled for some reason, which I was kind of bummed about. I don't want to do that again. We were thinking about doing it for Pats, but probably not because that's going to be a crazy day anyway. We might do a little something before the game, but that day we're probably going to have a doubleheader. I would imagine. You probably won't be around, though, because you will be in band.
You know what? For maybe the St. Pat's game, I might try to get out of band just for 1 game. Because, I mean, we're not marching or anything.
You only do, 2-3 games a year, typically.
Oh, really? I just thought we did all the games, except we didn't march or anything. We kind of just
band.
We just played in the timeouts and stuff, so.
The last normal year, matter of fact, the last normal year for basketball, we only had 10 home games out of, I want to say, near 30.
Yeah, I was going to say probably about 30 games.
There was a lot of tournaments that they played in and showcases and all that, but only about 10 home games. I think they played in 3 of them. There was Pats, there was Viator, and then there was another game that I want to say it was Carmel for senior night. Carmel for senior night. Band was there. That was it. It was only 3 games that Band was there, so you might be okay for that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Bolter. I don't want to put it. However, I don't want to put any ideas in his head because then he's going to be like, I want to do more. I don't want to do more. And no, I don't want you to do more. I want Caden.
Yeah, no, but I was talking to him, and he's, we said we'd make an agreement, to do.
Well, yeah, because you're actually enjoying doing it. It's awesome. I
love this. This is so much fun.
I remember last year you weren't too sure about it, but I'm glad you made the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, it was just weird. I wasn't sure.
Well, yeah, you didn't know what the heck.
I wasn't sure if I just wanted to do it for 1 game and then maybe quit, or if I actually wanted to do this for, the next 3 years of high school or whatever.
Yeah.
So
you're going to be a lead dude pretty soon.
That's great.
You're like, I don't know what that means.
I know what it means. I don't know if I'm ready yet for that.
Hey,
but
you got the rest of this year next year.
Yeah,
You'll
I
be
guess.
fine.
Yeah.
Man, you keep whining.
I don't whine. I just.
You complain.
Okay, fine. I do complain a little, but.
Yeah, you do. No,
I just don't like to be selfish and say that. Oh, I'm better than everyone.
No one has said that.
Well, but that's what I would say if you said you're about to be the lead guy soon, and then I say, oh yeah, I know. That's just.
I mean, who else would it be though? Let's think rationally about that. Who else would it be? Exactly. That's what I thought you meant. Hey, look, there's actually a game going on and not just us talking in the background as it always been. However, we've mostly stayed on topic, which is a rare one. It's 5-0 with 9:30 to go in the first. And it's mostly the reserves in right now. Danny England, Max Stalinchek, Alessandro Morisevich, Cesar Lopez, Andres Abdallah, Panora Garcia, Martinez. The only starter, Marty Krug. And that one through.
That hasn't happened in a while.
And the Mustangs take the scoreboard. I was going to say take the lead, but that would have been dead wrong. It's a 5-1 game. So that goal was scored by, they don't even have his number on here. Oh, there it is, Patrick Moran. Patrick Moran with that goal. 5-1 game. Pretty long one there. That one just shot over Kier's head. He came out of the goal. Not much you can really do with that one.
Yeah, it's tough because you can't stay back just in case, they get a close shot, but you also can't really move up too far. Then, then that happens, and it's just a split-second decision.
It's all right. They're okay.
I was going to say, as you were talking about the
Ooh, nice save.
As you were talking about the roster before and who's on the field right now, yeah, I think it's good that the starters are going to get the rest that they need because if they played this game, who knows what's going to happen, maybe a sudden injury or something that you just can't risk you just can't risk that.
Well, and then this is the last time that some of these guys are going to get to play on this field, including Daniel Labuda, senior this year. They've got a lot of seniors, and this is the last time they're going to play on this field. We haven't talked about that at all. This is the last home game of the year. There's going to be no more games here after tonight. And for most of these guys, oh, look at that. For most of these guys, this is going to be their last game. Some of them have already played their last game. I believe Trevor Johnson, Andres Berezueta, Paul Harris, not active tonight. Maybe they'll get like a couple minutes at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I would imagine as it being
10 minutes or something.
As it being their last game. But this is it for them. Like sometimes we don't think about that because there's still playoffs going on. But there's no more games here. Everything is on the road from here on out. And it makes it a little more bittersweet because of all these guys that really haven't gotten to play as much. Lopez, Labuda, Morisevich, finally getting into the game. Abdallah too. Like they're getting in and they're going to get to play most of the game, which is awesome. Maybe close to like 50, 60 minutes of the game they're going to be in for. But you don't think about you don't necessarily think about that, but that's exactly what's going to happen unless injuries start piling up.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got to bring everybody else out there. Then we'd see a lot of JV players up here for playoffs, which that one would be interesting. No shots, guys. I'm sorry. So yeah, these guys they're going to finally get some game film from us with them on it, which is probably pretty cool for them. This is the most soccer coverage we've ever done.
They're mentioned in the podcast.
Yep, they're in the podcast. Zimba is in, and there is Trevor Johnson. Zach Martin also in, and I think DiFilippo just checked back in.
And what I've liked
Martin back.
And what I've liked about this team this season that we've seen at this game too, it's almost all of the game they're on Northside's side of the field. So, they're
for the first half it's the south, second half
south.
North. Yeah.
Yeah. So most of the time they're on the southern end of the field, which shows that, they're on offense most of the time, and we've seen this throughout the whole season.
They're in control of the game.
Exactly. Their defense just takes over when the ball gets near. And, then the offense just goes right back at it and then, scores what they need. And even though the score's 5-1, which, usually we don't see too many goals like that, but
and they came out firing on all cylinders.
Exactly.
With a mix of starters and first reserves, as we would say. A good mix. And they put out, I think, 3 goals in the first 9 minutes of the game.
2 or 3, I forgot.
Yeah, somewhere in that range, and look where they're at now. Now you get all these other guys time in.
Mm-hmm.
Get some more of the starters a little bit more work before it's playoffs. Get a little, just more game experience. Too much. There's no such thing as too much game experience. There really is no such thing as too much game experience.
I agree.
So we'll see how this pans out. And now Trevor going on a fast break. Gets tied up.
Looked like he was getting grabbed.
And he is down. And is back up. Oh, he gave us a scare. Come on, Trevor.
Yeah, that was weird. It looked like he was getting grabbed by your shirt, but I don't know. Maybe that was just how fast
football.
he was moving.
You're playing the wrong sport.
This is football.
It's European
football.
This is football. And this football game has 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the half.
It's almost my time.
It's almost your time.
My solo time.
Solo time is not a bad thing. Fire truck. Where's that one coming from? I don't even care what's happening in the game. I'm watching the fire truck.
Hasn't crossed the school yet.
Where are you? Wow, 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 wow. I'm making fire truck noises.
This is what it's come to.
Fire truck noises. I still hear it. Where is it?
Now we're getting yelled at.
Oh, yeah. Us getting yelled at by the producers. What else is new? Is that even a surprise at this point? Us getting yelled at by them? All right. Caden, do you want your 2 minutes of fame?
Sure.
Hey, there it is. There it is. Oh, you missed it.
I saw it.
They said it was on Milwaukee. Ugh. Now they're feeding us bad information. I say we kick them out. They're done. Nope, they're done. It's over.
Gone forever.
I'm on a kicking out spree. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. If I become like a boss, I'm gonna be dangerous. I'm gonna be dangerous.
Best of the best have to work for you,
yep.
or else they're fired.
You're gone. This is why I should never be promoted. All right, I think Caden gets his name now.
All right.
You ready?
My final 2 minutes.
All right, I'm going to – yeah, I'm totally going to fire myself. Right,
I'm too good at this. I'm
wow.
done.
All right, have fun, Caden.
All right. We like to have fun. With 1 minute and 45 seconds left of the first half, 5-1. Clearly we've gone off topic more than a couple times. Looking at fire trucks coming down Dempster. Yeah, not Milwaukee. It's Dempster. We clarified that. We clarified that now because we saw it with our own eyes. But, like I said, Dons have had offensive possession most of the game. And, their defense really shuts it down when it gets there. Like right here, let's see what they can do. As it is out of bounds and is going to be going the Dons' way. And let's see, what else were we talking about? We're talking about state playoffs, fire trucks, basketball. And so, yeah, we have an exciting lineup for the rest of the year. For whether it's sports or, whatever's happening. There's an exciting lineup. 45 seconds left of the first half. So here comes the throw-in. I like my 2 minutes of fame. I just get to talk. As here comes the shot. Oh, just high. Should I say it, or is that Danny's thing? 3 points.
Thank you.
I just got a shout out from Danny himself.
Don't worry, we don't like
As the first half is about to come to an end.
Alright, everyone just yell at
Oh. Now I'm just going to get yelled at.
soloing an announcer. 3 seconds
My
left, sir.
2 seconds, 1 second left. And my 2 minutes of fame is over, 5-1, and I'll see you guys in the second half.
And welcome back. And there's a new guy on here. Everybody say hello to our favorite man, Andrew Dobek. Actually, he's my second favorite. Caden's my first. Sorry, Andrew. Yeah. Talk. Oh, your mic doesn't want to work. Talk now.
Hello.
There we go. We got him to work. It only took 3 tries, but we figured it out. Andrew's back. He still doesn't know what he's talking about, but I think he'll figure it out along the way.
Today's my redemption day.
Yeah, do better today, please.
Looks like someone forgot to start the clock.
Oh, man. Oh, well, they get some extra time.
Yeah, a couple extra seconds.
Yeah, what's the difference?
5 seconds here or there.
Yeah, maybe like 15.
Or that.
Who cares? Like, seriously. It's 15 seconds. I will admit, though, I did it once in the JV game where I didn't start the clock when I was supposed to.
Good thing you know how to actually work the clock.
Unlike you.
I'm sure I could figure it out. There's only about 30 different buttons to
Yeah,
press.
30 different buttons, and you probably don't know how to work any of them. See, this is the banter we like to have. Where are you going? Why? Okay, so now some of the producers are going to go shoot off rockets. That's a thing. That's a little weird.
Leaving Caden all alone at the producing
Oh,
desk.
yeah, this could get messy. Caden's producing now. We'll see how this goes. He's looking at us like we're crazy. Hey! While we comment on Caden being messy, Stalinchek put one through. And it's 6-1.
A minute into the first
Hey,
half.
go Stalinchek! Woohoo! Wow, that was loud. Go Stalinchek? Yeah, go Stalinchek. Woohoo! Go Stalinchek.
Minute 20 into the first half or second half.
Oh my
bad.
gosh. You don't pay attention, do you?
Nah, I just
And you were producing for half the time.
yeah, it was.
Wow.
Actually, I was on camera first quarter, quote unquote, first half of the first half, and then I was producing.
That's called a quarter, Dobek.
Yeah, I know.
I don't believe you.
You know what we have not had today was street balls like we did.
I want a street ball. I think
we
it
had two
was.
in the Carmel game
Oh, it was the I thought it was the Marian Catholic game.
or Marian Catholic.
It was one of those two. It was either Carmel or Marian Catholic. We had two.
It was senior night.
Yes,
So,
Marian Catholic. No, Marian Central. Marian Catholic was not a home game this year. It was Marian Central.
I didn't know that there were two Marians.
Well, Marian Central, I don't know why they call it Marian Central because it's in Woodstock.
It's like on the edge of the Catholic conference.
So yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why they have two Marians. Like you couldn't come up with anything better. Like just call it St. James High School. Marian Central? Really? Are you trying to be like the Glenbrooks or the Lincoln Ways?
Or the Mains.
Or the Mains.
How many Mains are there at this point?
So there's Maine East, Maine South, and Maine West. I think there was a Maine North
At one point.
at one point. Let's look it up. Maine North. It was a thing. Let's see. It closed in 1981. It was open. It was only open for 12 years. Where was it? It was in the northeastern section.
North of Main South. That's where it was.
I would hope so. You want to know what their mascot was named? The Norsemen. Norsemen. Isn't that weird? It was, the address was 9511 Harrison Street, which was actually pretty close to here, matter of fact. Let's look up where that is. I was looking at it on the map, and I'm like, that's kind of close. That's only 2.5 miles away from here. It is, it's like just west of Ridgewood Memorial Park, which is Milwaukee Avenue and like Gulf Road. There's a huge open property there. It's actually now the home of the Illinois State Police District branch for Chicago and the Milwaukee School of Languages.
And what does all this have to do with soccer?
I have no idea. But we got on that rant from Marion Central. Now I got to see. Let's see, what else is there? There's Niles West and Niles North. I want to say there was a Niles East. Niles East High School. There was a Niles East High School. It closed in 1980, and it was actually opened in 1938. Their nickname was the Trojans.
Interesting.
And they were located. I have my phone out right now. Let's see. They were located at Lincoln Avenue and Skokie Boulevard. So, like, around Howard Street, Lincoln Avenue, and Skokie Boulevard was where that school was. And then let's see if there was a Niles South. I have a feeling there was, considering all that we found. Niles. Let's see. There's a Niles. Doesn't look like there was a Niles South. Then there's the Lincoln Way schools. There's a Lincoln Way West and a Lincoln Way East. They have a Lincoln Way Central. And then there's the never opened Lincoln Way North, which is where my aunt and uncle live. That's out and about. That's out by Frankfurt. They live, I want to say, about 3 miles away from it. The building is actually really nice. Like, the facilities are beautiful.
But the school is never opened?
The school was never opened because they were expecting, like, I guess they were expecting, like, a huge rise of, like, kids there, and it just never happened, so they just never used the school. And apparently, like, people got really upset that they built it and it never got used.
I mean, I would be a little upset.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, you could take kids from the other schools and distribute them out.
So now, like, you know, the grounds are just, like, open to the public. Like, if you want to go use it, go use it. And I guess they have, like, baseball, softball fields. Their football field is actually pretty nice. Their scoreboard's actually not that good, though. It's no. It's like one of those old-fashioned that kind of looks like it's a rectangle and then a triangle on top. So
our scoreboard is pretty nice.
Ours is nice.
Yeah.
I wish it was a jumbotron though. But it's got like the score of the game, the timeouts, ball down, all that stuff, and then on top of it, in the triangles where the time is, and it's like those really old style pixels, like the Lane Stadium pixels at Lane Tech. And actually, I found this out last week. They're getting a new scoreboard next year. And I've been to a couple Lane Tech games, and like you can't tell at all what's on there.
That bad, huh?
It is that bad. Most of the bulbs are out on there, and they never change them. But the problem is that the field gets used so much because so many teams play there. Public school teams play there because they don't have their own fields. Like Taft just built a new field last year. Or no, 2 years ago they built a new one. Whitney Young just built a conversion field. It's got baseball, softball, football, soccer, all that on the same field, kind of like by a Taft Freshman Academy. But like the city schools usually don't have that. Like have that the capabilities to do that.
They don't have the luxury of having as much.
Well, yeah, they don't have as much space because in the city you're a lot more confined. Honk. Was that your car, Dobek?
No.
Well, you drive a truck, don't you?
No.
Why don't you drive the truck?
I don't have a truck.
Why don't you have a truck?
They're too expensive.
But trucks are cool.
They are.
I want to get a truck. I would love it.
What kind of truck do you think?
I want a Ford.
Ford? Sorry.
I want to. You know what I want? I want the Ford Lightning.
Ford Lightning?
Yeah.
You know what I want?
That's an awesome truck.
Chevy Silverado.
You like Silverados?
Yeah.
And this is what we've gotten to on the soccer podcast. We're talking about Chevy Silverados.
Hey, says the one who wants a Ford Lightning. Nothing against Fords. I'm just a Chevy guy.
I drive a Chevy.
Yeah, I know.
I drive a Chevy sedan. It's 20 years old. It drives great.
I've got.
And can Ian get it through? Nope. Oh, hey, look, that stayed in. He kept that in. Gets that blocked and kicked away before Schmucker had a chance to get that. Schmucker with 2 goals tonight.
I know.
He had an assist with Andres Abdallah and then had one all by himself, which was great to see. A guy that, hasn't had as much playing time as he probably would have liked. You could say he's probably a third-string guy, and he's played a lot already. And you would imagine he's probably going to stay in for probably the rest of the game.
Yeah, this season so far, I have not heard the name Schmucker around that much. It's the first game, but I think he should have been playing more.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he's playing good tonight.
I know you obviously you don't follow it as much as Caden and I do, considering just how talented this group is. And we were talking about that in the first half, Caden and I, just how much talent these guys got. Labuda gets a block, and that one's going to head off. There's a ton of talent on this roster, so the competition is there for spots. And it's awesome to see these guys, getting into games, finally getting able to play, or finally being able to play as, let's see, Stalinchek heads off, DiFilippo heads off, Abdallah is in, Shanahan's in, and it looks like Zach Martin's back in. So, yeah, it looks like no Lobianco tonight. We did see Trevor Johnson get in.
What about Dino? I have not.
Dino, I believe, is not going to play tonight. So
I know England was.
England, I believe, he was in. Oh, he still is. Never mind.
Yeah,
he's still in. You just got to look for the really messy hair. His hair is a mess. Oh, my goodness. Get a haircut, dude. I'm going to continue to make fun of him until he gets it. Or he's just going to keep refusing to do it.
Or until.
Fun fact, I have known him since I was 3 years old.
Really?
Yeah, we went to preschool together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It is, isn't it? It's kind of cool. I know, Kier's hopping around like a llama. It's okay, Kier. I'm not trying to make fun. Wait a second. Is he wearing white shoes? Who in their right mind would wear white shoes on a soccer field? Am I wrong about that?
If I was on the team, I'd probably be that guy with white shoes.
True. He's not the only one, though. I have partially white shoes. I've worn them on the field.
I've got white soles. That's about it.
Yeah, I have Air Forces. They're half and halves. The last pair of shoes I had, they had a mesh top to it, the strings, and they tore apart. So when I wanted to get different shoes, I wanted to find something that didn't have that on the top. So I found those, and they were $85. So I was like, okay, that's respectable.
From soccer to shoes, huh?
We started talking about shoes. So I found those shoes, and I'm like, okay, these are actually pretty decent. But I realized really quick they get so dirty. We had the freshman mixer here between ND and Res, and I was here for it because I'm in the leadership program for the freshmen. And I wore them not thinking they would get dirty. By the end of the night, hey, look out, Ian. By the end of the night, they were black all over. The bottoms of them were so dark. The sides of them had stains all over. It took me about 2 hours to clean them, and they weren't even fully cleaned.
Keep trying. You'll get them clean eventually.
Honestly. I got some preservative on them yesterday during lunch, and I was really upset. It was red and sticky, and I'm like, come on.
Could it have been ketchup?
No, it was some jelly or something like that. It was weird. And now it's I'm kind of resorting to thinking about buying shoe paint so I don't have to keep cleaning them as much as I am. It's a hassle. I go outside and use the garden hose and a soap bucket because of how much of a mess I make. What is it with these guys and tying shoes? Why are we still on the shoe subject? Why are these guys still tying their shoes?
Just one guy.
This is like the fourth one of the entire game. There's a dude down there by the north goal. Frank was doing it. Now this guy. I feel like there's another one.
And how long does it take to tie your shoes, too? Seems like some of these players are taking their sweet time.
Right.
Predictions for final score for this game?
8-2.
8-2. I was thinking 7-2.
I'm thinking that Northside's going to get one more on Kier. And then I also think that the Don's bench is going to score some more. I don't think that Jake Schmucker is going to be the only one of the bench mob that's going to score tonight. I'm not sure if they gave Andres that goal, and he's mad that he missed that one. I'm not sure if they gave Andres that goal or if they give Jake that goal because Andres put it through, but Jake set it up.
It's 50-50.
I'm not smart enough to know who it goes to. Because, again, I don't know soccer.
Just my 2 cents. You would think that since Schmucker set it up, he would just be an assist.
I guess, yeah. Oh, it went through. Oh, I thought it went through the gate.
Hit the gate post.
Dang. I want to see one roll into, like, the ditch at the end of the track. We had one of those last week. That was fun.
And we also had 2 go into the street last week.
Nope, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, within a span of 5 minutes.
That was the best.
But
That was probably the most fun we've ever had in a game.
Except for when that kid ran onto the football field during the Viter game.
Yep.
That and the balls in the street was probably
Best moments of the fall, at least so far.
for sure.
And then when we found out who it was, awesome. However, I will not disclose their identity on air. Not fair to them.
But it was hilarious to watch.
It was funny. We're up here. They're getting ready to start overtime. We just see this girl running onto the field, sprinting. She
And
jumps the
security.
fence. Apparently, from what people have told me, she jumped the back fence onto Ozark. And while we're talking about Ozark, that one is in. Ian Martinez sets up Ryan Shanahan for the header, and it's a 7-1 game. Nice hop there by Shanahan, going with our topic of discussion, and puts one through, making it, once again, a 6-goal lead. Well, back to our topic of discussion.
Where were we?
Talking about the kid running on the field.
Yeah, we got to the part where
She jumped the back fence, allegedly,
onto Ozark.
onto Ozark, and apparently started jumping houses' fences and going into backyards. And security couldn't figure out where she went.
'Cause all we
Apparently
saw-
she got off scot-free.
Because all
Here's-
we saw was her jump the fence, and then
Yes,
security
and
after
then she went. Then she disappeared. I had thought she went behind the bleachers and started running on the sidewalk back there, because there is a sidewalk behind the visitors' bleachers. That's what I thought, because there's a lot of bushes in that particular area, right behind that exit to the far left. There's a lot of bushes over there, but then once you get away from them, it's pretty clear.
Oh yeah, because then if you go north on Ozark, you're headed up towards our parking lot, which is wide open.
Yeah.
And if you go south, you're going into the neighborhood.
Right. And here's the ironic thing, too. Earlier in the game, she actually came up here because her ID was up here, reported missing, and it was sitting on the table, and I'm like, I got this one. So I gave her the ID. This was probably around the second quarter, I think. I saw it, and I texted her because she was here, and I'm like, come get it. So you don't have your name read over the PA. Labuda almost getting one through. Don't get your name read over the PA. So comes up. I hand it to her through the window. Leaves. And what do you know? About an hour and a half later, streaking onto the field.
Couldn't she go around the field? Maybe behind the goal. Had to.
No, she ran across like the 15-yard line. But that was the dare, apparently. It was a dare, and she was given money to do it. Is the story that people have said. Apparently around $200.
$200?
That's what I've been told, yeah.
Oh,
Now,
you think someone?
I don't know if there's any truth to this, as Morisevich kicks one wide left. I don't know if there's any truth to this at all. This is just what people have told me. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm saying it in the first place, but who cares? It's over. It's done with. Speaking which of football, we got football coming up on Friday.
We got jugglers on Thursday, too.
And jugglers on Thursday. I'm going to go through football first because it's on my head and I want to get it taken care of. High school game day is back. I'm 99% sure we're going to start at 4:15. We had originally scheduled for 4:30, but I think it's going to be 4:15 again because of the guests we're anticipating. Still putting together the guest list. It's a pain.
Who's on the tentative?
So currently, I have not secured it yet. We're going to try and get some of this another segment with soccer. The planned guests are Zach Martin and Luca Lobianco. That's who we want to get. But anyone will work. Regina Dominican's actually going to be joining us for game day. They'll be there, and then we have two of their students that are going to be joining us for a segment. The varsity cheer team is going to be there. They'll be performing in the second to last segment. The rest of it is currently up in the air. There's a lot of stuff. Oh, hey, look at this. Laputa. Oh, gets a block. Oh,
points.
Man.
3 points.
That was not 3 points. Oh.
Looked like it.
Almost had it. I think this place would have exploded if Labuda put one through. Oh, man. So Ian Martinez is going to take a corner kick. But we still got some slots open. Header! No. Schmucker got up for that one and just a little too high. So, yeah, that game day is going to be fun. It is pink out theme. You can probably tell that we are supporting Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As you look at the scoreboard on the bottom, it is pink because pink is a vibrant color, and it looks good. So, yeah.
Then we got the game itself.
And then we have the game itself at 7:30. It is senior night. We don't know when it's going to start. I would assume somewhere between 6:45 and 7 is when the presentation's actually going to get underway. That we need to confirm. The team probably knows. We just need to confirm it.
And then kickoff is at 7:30.
Kickoff is at 7:30 against St. Lawrence. And then to jugglers, their closing weekend is this weekend, October Sky. Come out and see it. It's a good show. You might see some of us there. I'm going to be at one of the Saturday shows.
I'll be at the Thursday one.
Delbeck will be at the Thursday one. Matter of fact, the Thursday show is going to be online too. Thursday night.
So if you can't make it in person,
if you can't make it in person, watch it online.
Jugglers put a lot of work in to pull this off.
Yeah, it is free too. If you watch it online, it is a free option. But if you can come see it in person, do it. Way better than watching it online. We're just making it available to people. If they're not able to come in and see it, you can at least watch it online. So that's kind of like a last resort for people. Like, we want you to come in and see it. I myself am not a juggler. I spent a lot of time around them, though. Have done an insane amount of work. We've been saying this since Jump Street. No one would have thought that they would have pulled this off in 4 weeks. Roughly 4 weeks. And somehow they did it. And the show, from everything that people told me, I have not seen it yet, so
me neither.
I can't even spoil it for you. Everything I've been told is it's awesome. So it's definitely.
Well, I'll find out on Thursday.
It's definitely worth seeing. So come on and see it. You can buy your tickets online. Go to the Notre Dame website. They'll be on the scroll at the top of the page. You might have to click the arrow buttons at the top to go to the link. Excuse me. This week, 7 o'clock on Thursday. There's no shows on Friday because of football.
Double show on Saturday.
Double show on Saturday. Whoa, hello. That was a bit of a hit. A double show on Saturday. There's a 5:30 matinee, and then an 8 o'clock nightcap to
close off the show.
to close things out. We're calling it a matinee at 5:30 because we can.
And isn't there another football game, the 22nd?
The 22nd, yes. That is a doubleheader with St. Rita. And then the next day, and now we can think, Burke-Palooza. And matter of fact, the Burke Scholars have joined us tonight, along with members of the Burke Buddies Club, which I am a part of. I promised them that I'd give them a shout-out tonight. Probably one of the best parts about this school is these guys. They're
awesome.
Here comes the girl goaltender, as I've called them in my head. Get a haircut.
Swanson would not approve of that haircut.
No. He's probably at home grading AP Gov tests right now. But anyway, these kids are the pride and joy of the school. Love them. They're awesome. Let's see if I can spot who's down there.
I see
Sam Ferrara, Jake Chaplin, Joe Dragon, Chase Weatherly, Michael Hennigan, matter of fact, plays on the football team. And he got into the game against DePaul, which is awesome. Jake Chaplin is the JV soccer manager. Brandon Moran is down there. Luke Kroc. Let's see, who else?
I think that's it.
I want to say that's it.
At least that we could see.
With what we can see from our vantage point, there might be one or two more down there.
Well, majority of the Burke Scholars.
Majority of them are here. The two of the seniors, Carlos Cornejo and Alex Aceves.
Sorry.
And the trainer's getting called out. Something's up. So the trainer's out here taking Andres Abdallah off the field. I didn't even notice that. I was talking too much. We were talking about the Burke guys. So we can't really tell you what happened there. Sorry. We were talking about the Burkes. So Burke-Palooza is at St. John Brebeuf on the 23rd. There's information on the ND website if you want to go learn more about it. Portions of it are going to be online. Hey, off the side of the face. Portions of it are going to be online. Frank gets one off. Ian goes for the side swipe. Labuda not able to get it, but Martinez able to recover it. And look, we're back to soccer talk.
In about 30 seconds, we'll be off, I bet.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm done with that. Well, Dons lose it. Hey, never mind. I'm going to learn to keep my big mouth shut.
You talk too much.
I do talk too much. That's because you don't talk enough.
One can argue that statement. Depends to what class I'm in, how much I talk.
True. And with just about 14 minutes left to go.
Don's up 7-1.
Don's up 7-1, up big, late in the game.
Oh.
Ouch.
Every time they bounce the ball off
Caesar put a ton of power into that one. It's just bam.
That sounded painful.
You could probably hear that one from Indiana. Or Lake Michigan.
Or Wisconsin.
Or Wisconsin, sure. But could you hear it from Iowa?
The corn might, but.
Corn. If you have time, go to Cut4 on Twitter. It's an MLB account. And you got to scroll down all the way back to like August 16th to when MLB was at the Field of Dreams. And go through that entire thread. It's all corn memes. It's hilarious.
I'll have to look into that.
I did it, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago. I was watching the Field of Dreams game. One of the best games ever, in my opinion. And It was just corn memes over and over. It was hilarious. Speaking of the White Sox, we are not White Sox fans. Caden is, unfortunately.
Go Cubs.
We don't know where Caden is.
Caden, where did he go?
Yeah. Oh, Caden's on camera, so we can talk bad about the White Sox now. I'm kidding. White Sox obviously knocked out this afternoon. I had been following along with their season. I gotta say, I am a little upset that they're knocked out as early as they were. A lot of people were thinking they were going to go far. Labuda off the goalpost. Right off the top of the crossbar. Just missing. Is he going to be the next Paul Harris?
He might be.
No goals. I don't even know if he has one. I couldn't tell you. We're going to start the We Want Labuda chant. We want Labuda. We want Labuda.
You can start those chants.
We want Labuda.
What we want is...
My voice still has not recovered from Friday, from the DePaul game. I was there in the bullpen.
Well, I hope your voice is ready for this Friday.
Oh, boy. I'm going to do a lot of talking then.
3 days away.
Yep. I'm going to have my voice saved, though. I'm not going to do a lot of talking next. Excuse me.
School got you tired?
Yeah. 12-hour days. Here's Martinez.
Oh.
Off the side. Man. So close.
So close, but yet so far away.
Man.
"11 minutes left in the game. Don's up 7-1.
Well, it is the last home game of the year. We've seen most of the seniors get in. Paul Harris has not seen time. Andres Bearsway has not seen time. That probably was planned. Maybe they'll get in late. I do see Harris with his shorts on, but he does have a jacket on. And I believe earlier I saw Andres with sweats on, so I don't even know if he's planning on getting in. But maybe they're going to get in because I was talking with Caden about this. I didn't get to talk with you about it. It's their last home game that they're ever going to play. Some of these guys might not play competitive soccer again.
So you would think that they'd be in for this last game?
You would hope. I mean, that's what Caden and I were talking about. Like, you would hope that they would get the rest of the seniors into the game. Like, obviously they had their moment with senior night, but, like, it's different to when, like, you come to the realization, like, this is really it. This is it. There's no more after this. A little bit of a high header. England almost poking it in. Still alive, and then it's booted away.
One thing the Dons have done well is kept the ball on
The north side.
the north side this half, yeah. And then last
The north,
half,
yeah, the north ends. All right, put it through. Come on, Labuda. And that one's gonna get booted away.
and then last half, for the most part, they kept the ball on the south half of the field.
Wow. Just found a wall of Mustangs. Oh, a little bit of trip in there with Martinez, and that one's gonna go for a ride. I just saw the scoreboard skip from 8:53 to 8:51.
It's interesting.
That is weird.
Just a glitch in the system.
Just a little bit. You know what I want to see? I want to see a Jumbotron, like one of those big scoreboards like
From, like,
Stevenson has. No, like
Oh, I was thinking like a big jumbotron that you see.
no,
at Ball Stadium.
not one at like all, not one of those. I mean like one that's like suitable for high school. Like Deerfield has one now. Stevenson has one, most notably. Niles West has like a combo. Like they have a video screen on top of like the analog scoreboard. But like, wouldn't that be cool?
That would be.
It would just enhance the experience. Like I was talking with someone, like I was talking with one of our producers earlier, like what if we had like a military flyover? That'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
Like, I've never seen it. And look at this. Michael Zimba is back in, and he's got the captain armband on. Aiden Kimura heads off. So take a look at that.
While we're actually on the topic of soccer,
Wow, that's a surprise.
have not seen Jack Plavonic out there tonight. Is he not here?
No, he's here.
Just sitting on the sideline?
Yeah, just getting the rest, like some of the other guys. Harris, Bears-Wada, Dino, Plavonic, one of them, Lobianco not getting in tonight. Giving Kier an entire game, which is great.
I'm sure we'll see plenty of Dino and Plavonic next year.
Well, that and the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Rest for the playoffs. They don't play again for another week, which is quite frankly a pretty long time without playing. For soccer, like you're used to 2-3 games a week, but not playing for an entire week.
Like football's used to one game on Friday nights.
Oh, Labuda missed his chance. He had an open shot and just muffed it. I'm still watching for Paul Harris. He's got his sweater on. He's got the shorts, but he hasn't taken the sweater off. I want to see him get in.
Just start chanting, "We want Paul in."
Yeah, how about that one? We want Paul. We want Paul.
I do want to see Paul out here for the last 6
Yeah,
minutes.
I want to see him get out for the last part of the game. Put a bow on the end of the season. Have all the seniors out there. Minus Kier. I would love to see Kier finish the game off. And, despite the Dons being as good as they have been on defense, Kier Swanson's had a pretty decent game. For
only letting one goal slide?
Right, for the amount of pressure. Well, yeah, the one goal being one that was, he came out about 60 feet, and then they shot it over his head and it went in. But, for the amount of pressure that he's faced,
he's done really well.
He's done really good. He hasn't been, overwhelmed. There hasn't been a ton of stuff in his area, but,
because like we said earlier, the Dons have kept the ball in the other half of the field.
They've been in control offensively tonight, but when it gets over in Kier's area, he does a good job of he's been doing a great job of keeping it away, and
he's doing 1,000,000 times better than I would.
You got that one right.
Well, I mean, everyone would just shoot the ball right over my head.
Yeah, because you're short. How tall are you? 5'5"?
5'4".
Close enough.
And
You should have taken the 5'5" as a compliment.
Well, that and I can't jump, so even if I did try.
You're a shorty.
Thanks for restating the obvious. I hear that statement too many times.
Well, you can never hear it enough. 7-1 with 4:30 left to go. Doesn't look like Paul's getting it anytime soon. Man.
I'm a little disappointed.
I am too. I really wanted to see the seniors get in for maybe the last 10 minutes of the game. It's their last home game, and they're standing on the sidelines.
Fun fact, when I shadowed here in 8th grade, I shadowed with Paul Harris.
Did you really?
Yes.
You know who I shadowed with?
Who?
Connor O'Boyle. The injured tight end, who, by the way, is back practicing, and there is a chance he will play in Week 9 against St. Rita. A chance. Maybe.
We shall see when Week 9 rolls around.
Next week. And also, I was also told this today by one of the players, there is a chance. They're not going to be in playoffs this year because of the record, but they may be playing in this thing called a Prep Bowl with the CCL-ESCC merger. Teams that don't make it into the playoffs, traditionally what they do is they have a 10th game at the end of the season, kind of like a bonus game, a playoff game, in some sense, for teams that don't make it. So this year, ND would be in that. If that happens, this was just all speculation by this player. I'm not going to name him. All spec. Nothing for sure. But, if there was a 10th game, I would love to see that. Wrap it up in kind of a positive kind of way. And, you know, we said this whole time they've played, in comparison, an SEC-type schedule. Now, I know you probably don't know what that means, Andrew. But for those who do,
I do not.
The SEC is, in college football at least, is the hardest conference in college football, which is pretty obvious considering Texas A&M beat the number 1 ranked team at the time in Alabama last week. I can say I was not pleased about that. But, you know, think about last year, though. The SEC went conference only, like many conferences did. And it was crazy, some of the competition that was getting faced in there. Like, you know, A&M was number 5. I think Georgia was, like, number 6. Bama was number 1. You know, they had a lot of good teams in there. Now, you know, this year, Bama number 5. Arkansas at one point was number 8. Kentucky's, like, number 15. Georgia's number 1 now. The SEC is a very strong football conference.
And I'm glad you actually follow this, because I do not follow football.
You have no idea what I'm talking about.
But I will be watching a football game this weekend.
Yeah, it's called ND versus St. Lawrence.
Well, that one and the Bears versus the Packers.
Yeah. Are we gonna play some money wager on that this year?
What?
We had
Bears
talked
versus
about
Packers?
it. We had talked about it last year, but we never did it.
Well, it's easy. The Packers will win.
We'll see about that.
I don't watch many football games, but that is one.
You only watch the 2 Bears versus Packers games. Those are the only games you watch, aren't they?
Super Bowl.
And you watch the Super Bowl, really?
Well, you know, I go. You know, the TV's on with the Super Bowl. Whether or not I actually watch it, that information will.
You just hang around for the snacks.
You're not lying when you say that.
You're like my sisters. The only reason they're excited for the Super Bowl party is because of the snacks and the mozzarella sticks. Now I'm gonna have to go to the grocery store and buy mozzarella sticks.
And now I have a taste for chips and salsa.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I always look forward to.
We got a Mexican food truck coming on Friday. You can get it from there.
We'll see what my wallet provides at the time.
40 seconds left to go. Is Labuda going to get a shot? Oh! Just missed. And falling to the ground in shame is Mortisevich. Man. As time will run out. 20 seconds left. Labuda so close. Oh. Man. That's unfortunate. Well, Dobek's prediction is going to come true. 7-1 is going to be the final tonight. The Dons are going to improve to 19-1-2 heading into the playoffs. Northside drops to 5-8, and that wraps up the 2021 regular season for the Notre Dame Dons. Their best regular season record in school history comes to a close tonight, defeating the Northside Mustangs 7-1 here at Legends Field. It was a great overall night. We got to see a lot of the second-string, third-string guys come out and play a lot tonight, about 60 total minutes. The starters got in their work. Kier Swanson played spectacular for an entire game.
Jake Schmucker played very well.
Jake Schmucker played really well. 2 goals, either 1 or 2. We'll see how they decide to score that. We don't get the stats for that. If anything, 1 goal and 1 assist or 2 goals. He looked great tonight.
Which is still pretty impressive.
Which is still really impressive. You know, these guys had a great night. Since this is their last game, we got to extend a lot of appreciation. We got to send a lot to the coaching staff for the Dons being very appreciative, for letting us cover as much as we have. This is the most games we've ever done in the history of the soccer program. And then all the guys up here that continuously come to these games. And then the players for accepting us into this. You know, we've never done anything like this.
And for the players for having
awesome.
Great season.
Yeah. Well, it's time for us to sign off. For our producers, for our camera crew, for everyone here involved, Andrew Dobek, Caden Frawley, Danny Burke, signing off. We are back on Friday with football. Have a great night, and go Dons.